like it. IO could even pair with the Winter Wyvern in some situations to just give her more attack speed in the beginning. I like it. I think it's pretty solid.
Yeah, it's fairly true. I don't know. The only thing about like a core Wyvern is that it's like what your Orchid timing or Witchblade, you know, early is what you want to play around. Witchblade is kind of nice because you already kind of play on the quote-unquote weaknesses, or I guess to the strengths of Arctic Burn, which is that you only, without Ag Scepter, you only apply the Arctic debuff once per cast. And then obviously Witchblade has got like a downtime of 6 or 7 seconds or something off the top of my head. I can't quite recall, but it's a fair duration when it's on downtime. But when it's up, it feels really, really good. So yeah, I could see that certainly playing very nicely with the Wisp, just to get your extra auto attacks out with that attack range increase.
One thing I do like a lot about this lineup, and I feel like Brame can still make up for this with Wish, is that against an Ursa with relatively low mobility, you have some really high mobility heroes. The Winter Wyvern, the Slardar, the IO. Klako can annoy the Ursa a lot. Your stuns are fine for single target, but once it gets to the team fight, it can be a little bit lackluster, and that's where Wish has to come in and be incredible. So I feel like it all depends on Wish's tiny to be able to burst that backline.
This very much, I think, has to be one of those Wish tiny games. Hold on thought. I think we're going to be doing a little bit of sparring here as the arrow's going to split the gap. Bink is going to actually take a little bit of damage here, but it's no Fury Swipes here. The Earthshock level 1, so he'll walk it off. And with Nukamati going for the first item, Headdress, yeah, he'll be topped off by the time they see each other again in lane. I agree with you, though. I think this needs to be a game where we are constantly amazed at the amount of like blink tossbacks that Wish is going to be able to set up for, right? He's going to be looking to like feed his Ursa, feed his Sand King by literally throwing heroes into this kind of meat grinder. Yeah, that's...
You already got the first deny. Well done. Yeah, and then on top of that, right, if you have a good lane, right? There's a lot of high expectations for you. Okay, he's doing great. There you go. 2 first denies. This is what I was worried about in the Winter Wyvern versus Tiny matchup, and I think it was justified. It's really difficult to last hit 48 damage versus 80.
Yeah.
87.
Yeah, and it's a bottle rush for Stoikov. I mean, the animation for Wyvern's not great. It's even kind of bad. The projectiles, I think, standard speed.
Slow.
Yeah, so which is not fast. Yeah, so it's going to be a bit painful.
Yeah, so I like it. I think Wish can definitely pop off, and I also find that Wish is a good player to have on your. Oh, we need a win condition on the mid lane. Yeah, it's Wish. It's fine. Right? He's carried pups for years with his Tinker. I feel like he can do this with his Tiny too.
Yeah, for sure. There's the point in Arctic Burn, so the harass does begin here. Much easier now for Stoikov to at least, you know, that percentage-based damage. Again, it's quite significant versus the Tiny. Not to mention, of course, when he's not underneath the tower, he has no armor. So even though it is a measly 48 plus 2 damage now, it does begin to add up over time. But we'll check on this mid lane in a little bit, as we'll peek on over the other lanes. This Clockwork Marana lane, this bottom lane, I should just say, in general, I think not too likely to find kills here for Mary. Yeah, Cogs are going to be set up. 11 has Burrow Strike and has had it this entire time. Now he's going to look to turn. The first arrow missed onto Mary, but the auto attacks from Desire will not, so that's pretty easy first blood, and that's kind of what I was saying, is they both have tools of escaping Cogs from level 1 if they wanted to, and well, they got it at least at level 2.
Yeah, I feel that Mary forced that a little bit too much. You have Panic Shot level 1, which is honestly crap. It literally more than doubles your damage on level 2. I understand because it's a Sand King, and Sand King is really weak at the level 1 to 3, right? But I still feel like this Marana changes this matchup completely. Because Marana allows the arrow, Burrow Strike all of a sudden becomes a much better skill, Arrow's kind of bonkers with that, and I feel like Clockwork should have just waited a little bit longer. Zoning out, perfect. Going for the kill, maybe wait for Battery Cell level 2.
Yeah.
Your stats are also pretty bad these days after the many nerfs to the Clockwork 5, so your damage is not as good as it used to be, 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah, and Palantimos can see us just fine, I think, with Mystic Snake. Exactly. There's a little bit of threat for sure with, as you said, Burrow Strike into arrow onto your Medusa, so you do want to at least, zone out the Marana, zone out the Sand King a little bit, but going that far from the creep wave where your Medusa literally can't do a single thing to help you it's a little perhaps unadvised here. Thug, by the way, speaking about unadvised, is 1v1ing. Maybe I should say Bink is 1v1ing unadvised. And yeah, Cookie stun and the Slytherin Crush. They've got 6 stacks of the Fury Swipes, lots of healing from the Wisp. I just don't think it'll be enough. Nice recast there on the Tether for the additional slow. Another stun, and they actually will be able to get the Slaughter out of here. That was really tight.
Yeah. Big really played that at knife's edge. Usually against the Ursa matchup, when you're melee, it's pretty simple. You start stacking Furious Swipes, Slithering Crush, you walk away, right? Like it's literally any stun you have, immediately use it, walk away. But in this case, you try to distract Thug for a little bit longer, which is pretty good. However, he can't die here. Once again, he hits about the cookie, good Slithering Crush, Shadow Blast to slow him down, and this time I do believe Blink will die, or Bink will die, sorry. As Thug takes him down. A little bit too cocky in the second round. First round, fair enough, you were full HP. Second round, why tempt fate?
Yeah, they, don't really have to commit anything big in lane like a Metamorphosis, right? To go for a kill effort, it's just a little front flip and a cookie, and they've got plenty of mana here. Is Brame to really hedge their bets. And it's Spartan, right? He's going to look for these kill attempts basically any single time he sees an opportunity. He doesn't,
yeah, exactly.
Pulling? I mean, sure, I'll do it now after we get the kill, but before that, I'm in lane looking for kills, brother.
Yeah. Especially with an Ursa lane, like, if the enemy team makes a small mistake in this lane or feels like they're too cocky, you just punish. And the Spartan's very good at punishing. At one point, though, when you play against this guy, you should start expecting him to just run at you every time. Yep. But, It's not so much a punish if you are consistently doing it every single play.
Check this out, by the way. Nukamati Grandmaster tier Wisp, a bit more of a rare one. Obviously a hero that's very hard to play at pubs, even a little bit at the high immortal level. Everyone kind of knows what to do, but you have to kind of make that effort to communicate, which is a little taxing, right, in pub games.
I think EU is fun. I think if you play in EU, it's okay. Genuinely. I think it's the one server.
I've been watching a lot
like
of streams in the EU, and I don't know. I mean, sometimes yes, but like,
I'm not saying it's gonna be okay every game, but I feel like it's. I've watched SVG stream, and I feel like that is a place where if you play Wisp, you become SVG, you just tear your hair out.
That's very true, yes, it's very true. He's quite literally mauling. Wish is going to get Winter's Curse over in the mid lane. Creeps attempting to actually kill him here. There's the TP from Spartan, and with the blast, even with the infused raindrop, Stoikov has the kill.
Well done, Stoikov. I think that kill matters a lot. It completely makes up for your lackluster first few levels, and it sets Winter Wyvern in a good path. It was very good, Stoikov. I wonder if he's going to go Witchblade first or go for the travels. We'll see as a top lane Thug. He's the target of Bink's aggression, but Thug's like, sure, Bink, I'll fight you, mate. I'll fight you. I got Cookie. They got Scatter Blast still. There's a damage Scatter Blast. The creep blocked Bink ever so slightly, and then Nukamati blocks Thug as well. And that's going to allow Bink to make it out.
Yep. Very good. I was actually a little bit surprised they managed to get the kill there on the Tiny, because he did have Grow learned, so he has got that bonus armor. Now he's got a DD rune, so Wyvern's got to be a bit careful here. He had the bonus armor active, and he had infused raindrop, so just plenty of damage there. Wisely using the creeps, as they do count as enemy units, of course, to ensure that you get that longer range curse. If you don't curse any enemy units, like if you don't taunt any enemy units, I should say, is a better way of phrasing it. I believe the curse only lasts about a second or something like that. So good job, all the damage coming in there, and definitely not Stoikov's first time with the Wyvern mid.
Oh, yeah, it's 2.5 seconds. Yeah, it's 2.5 seconds, which is much less. So yeah, especially good when you can calculate your cooldowns like he did there. That was really impressive. Got Splinter Blast off cooldown as a result, so well done. Tiny's also kind of weak to it because he has no armor, as we've mentioned before. So
yeah, again, I'm just surprised. He did have that Crow level 1. He took it right away, so that's why I was a little surprised.
Cookie in the top lane miss, which means Spartan is in trouble. They can't disrespect the Slardar. Bink will just get this kill here. Spartan regretting always fighting forward. There's a Fairy Fire, just pretty much wasted. Bink has reached that moment where he feels unstoppable. Bash level 3, overcharge level 2. Slithering Crush misses. Tiny's on his way. He got a bash, so Bink regrets his choice. Bink regrets it so much as a double damage Tiny punishes him, and Nukamati's just out of here.
Yeah, he's out. He does overcharge the wagon for that little extra bit of efficiency. I really like that. This is kind of the stuff you notice, like the Grandmasters do over anyone else who plays the hero. He purposefully targets the wagon, even though it's not the closest creep for him to tether out to, because he wants to use overcharge and gets off maybe an extra 3 or 4 auto attacks with the wagon. Significant tower damage. It adds up. It adds up. Good stuff.
No? I agree.
He also, yeah, very much so, right? Very much so. Sorry, I'm just enamored with this Grandmaster Wisp, but it's not something I see every day. By the way, Wish is going back top.
I do think Nukamati is really good, but I'll talk about Wish's Tiny in a second. Nukamati is now in trouble. Avatos used on him. They have a Scatter Blast. Need to throw the tree, but that's not going to be enough as he healed with the Magic Wand. And SSA Spartan wanted to lead this charge, but not ideal. Mary He is going to be blocking Wish's retreat, but just to be a nuisance. There's no plan after that.
Yeah, does not have the rocket flare yet. He can take it at 4 if he wants, but he knows there's a ward up here, obviously, so he's just going to be looking to block. He also lost his own observer, I believe, but so far 11Monkeyz do avoid that first smoke egg out from Wish, who you were about to say something about.
Yeah, so I was looking at a lot of... I think tiny spammers is one of the most common things in the Dota environment for some reason. There's a fair few, one in each region, right?
Okay.
So I was looking at a couple of replays for tiny spammers because I was really interested in how they play the early game pre-blink, right? Because I think that's where the real tiny skill comes by. And something that I consistently noticed that all the good tiny spammers do is when they rotate, they always try to force a counter rotation. And I think you kind of saw that. When they dive tower, Wish is there, he gets the kill super easy. When he goes with a smoke, kind of difficult, and they just escape from him, right? Without the blink dagger. And that is something that... if you watch that Kamago, for example, he will only rotate when there's a counter rotation. He will never rotate to force a kill. And it limits your game plan a little bit. So they have to play around this for now as Bink. He's the target. Wish is coming by. This time they're pretty far forward. So Wish could punish this. Mortimer's just on top of that. It's a little bit too slow, though. He's not going to make her in time. Mary might just be the sacrificial lamb as they hit him with the arrow. Nice kisses, though, to kill off Nukumari. They ignore the Slardar. Wish can now out-toss him. They have the tree, and that's going to get the kill. Mary, from behind, trying to gain some time. Not going to be useful. They kill him instead. 3 for 0. Well done, bro.
Yep. Yeah, really, really well done. And yeah, I think, like, you know, obviously there's lots of skill on blinking into a position 5 with brown boots and wand, and then pressing Q and W and 100 to 0 them. That's very highly skilled. But I agree with you. Like,
that part is not the hard part.
No, I mean, without a lick of sarcasm there, you know.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, these early kinds of plays where Wish is taking advantage of how strong these spells are in the early game, right? His biggest weakness is that, well, he's frankly extremely slow. This is bugged. I don't believe he has 295 move speed. It should be a bit higher.
No, it's 340.
Yeah.
Mine's not.
Okay. Brag about it. But, you know, making these kinds of plays and actually playing off of the strengths of your spells, right? This is like where a lot of people, this is why like a lot of teams don't do Kunkka safe lane, because like a lot of safe laners aren't really used to playing around their spells early. They want to just like, you know, max their passive like Palantimos, who, you know, I'm transitioning here on this Dusa is doing just now, and then you're gonna go in jungle, right, and hit creeps for 15 minutes, get a couple of items, and then you specialize in using those items and focus fire in team fights. Thug, this is a bit aggressive. It's a 1v3 up here.
He is, but Sanking is coming. Set a plan here. This is the very classic play from Brame. As he starts the enrage, will now tank this nice epicenter from the Sanking. That's going to kill Bink first. Nukumari in trouble himself. As here comes the Wind to reset the fight, but Stoikov from behind. There's a grandma with a shotgun, hits with a cookie, wishes well, wants to kill Nukumari, get rid of the healing. He gets Nukumari. Stoikov without healing, without friends, without a way to escape. He's going to fall. Brame gets yet another kill. And here's my point, my second point to this, is not just Wish who's playing well, is the team knows how to utilize this Tiny. They constantly take rotations very close to their tower, if you notice there, right? They smoke preemptively as well. They literally went to mid lane just to smoke to give him more movement speed. The Ursa play there, even if he dies, was magnificent. He's like, I'm gonna hold him off for a little bit. I'm gonna enrage, I'll tank the damage, and then you guys come and clean up. And that speeds up the blink dagger for Wish, for Sanking as well. It's really good plays at Brame, honestly.
Yeah, cheeky little arrow. There's also a perfect blink reveal for 11. Wish has his now on the way, so Brame's still hoping that they can find a little bit of a skirmish here with the ward, but now it's been de-warded here.
Timing.
So they still want to go, though. Spartan just up to the high ground. He says, don't worry, guys. I'll give vision. Fear not. 11 follows up here. Perfectly on his commander, and they get a pretty big kill. Oh, they've also got this really deep ward in the enemy triangle already, of course placed by none other than Spartan.
I love that Spartan, by the way. Like, you look at any team, you go, what vision do they have? Oh, Beastmaster, maybe Enchantress, and on Brame, it's always Spartan. He's playing Oracle, still vision. What a nice initiation from Wish. Little avalanche to get Nukumari, and Bink is trying to get away, but it's impossible. 11 will get him.
Yeah, and this is turning into one of those textbook games where, you know, yes, there is this unaddressed Medusa. I almost said Marana. There is this unaddressed Medusa that continues to farm, but this is a hero that, like I said, cannot rely on the power of her spells early in the game to simply win fights for her team. It's very unlikely. I suppose there is a possibility where a good Stone Gaze might make the difference, right? But very unlikely. You need items on the Dusa, otherwise she just dies to basically epicenter and a blink from Tiny. And that's already online, right? Dusa still needs another 15 minutes at least. So yeah, this is turned into one of those games where you hear casters talk about, maybe this is going to be Brame undercutting this Dusa timing, kind of bringing a little bit too much tempo for this Dusa to really fight into, because the rest of the team here is kind of being outfought here. This is going to allow Tiny and 11 to really elevate their net worth here as they smoke yet again to find some more fights.
They're out now. There's no way they have more smokes here.
Yeah, this might be the last one for a while, but...
Yeah. No, I agree. And it's also hard to play these games with your monkeys right now. And we'll explain this in a second because Palantimos, they try to go for a toss back, which realized that was not the good toss back, just walks back.
Yeah, I didn't have a creep wave, I believe, after the Medusa.
So if you're monkeys, the problem here is that they're playing really weirdly with your space. Like, they're fighting you in their supposed dead lane, right? Which is what Sanking allows you to do, because he's one of the better heroes at doing that. But it's still an issue, right? So you have to kind of change your game plan. If Dusa goes triangle, it's fine, but she can't quite go to lane. You can see Slaughter still in the dead lane after this long. Sorry, still in his the farming lane, quote unquote, right? So the space kind of changes, and it's hard to adapt this on the fly, especially when no towers have been taken, because you don't know where the space really is. And it just feels like you're being choked a little bit if you're monkeys right now.
I mean, the reason I'm lingering my camera down bottom on this bottom tier 1 tower is because normally in almost any other professional game at Dota 2, in any region that you'll see right now, this lane is being shoved by Dire, which is Brame in this game, right? That's not the case. So 11Monkeyz like, what the hell is going on, right? Juso wants to be hitting this tier 1 tower. You see Mary in position to break smoke ganks, but guess what? Brame don't need smoke ganks. They have Moonlight Shadow. That's going to allow Wish here to wrap around his own tier 1 tower. He sees Palantimos. Oh, but he's going to blink back. He didn't like what he saw.
He got detected by a sentry as well, so that was a good call by Wish. I don't know if he knew it was there, but very good call. Tower finally falls, though, so this makes it a true dead lane for Brame. Now it's harder to take fights here. There's a closer TP spot for 11Monkeyz. I think their strategy... Well, actually,
they still got a ward, Abo.
Should change,
no, they've got a ward. Spartans, he's heralding them in. Let's go, boys.
What a great use of Herald in that situation.
Yeah, I got you, dude.
That's amazing.
I'm glad you picked up on that. But Brame here, they are going to hold back. They're not going to choose to fight underneath that ward. That might pay off later here. Doesn't really look like that ward was detected, so they can still look to maybe transition that or have that pay off a little bit later, right? Invest it into the future. Maybe, we skip a kill onto a Clockwork now, but we kill a Dusa later.
Yeah, exactly. Wish avoids that hook shot. Stoikov was looking for the Winter's Curse as well. So Brame still want to play over the top side of the map, but I feel like 11Monkeyz have realized that this is now becoming a mistake, right? So they want to punish this as much as possible. They keep the Slaughter there, the Winter Wyvern as well. We do have Boots of Travel and good farm on the Wyvern, so it's not that big a deal. And as long as Dusa has found some space. They haven't rotated Palantimos to the bottom jungle yet, because they know Brame is probably hunting there, and they don't want to give him a chance. They go for the closer camps to the towers, and that's it. Palantimos playing a really safe game, knowing it's just a matter of time before she theoretically outscales Brame.
Yeah, Stoikov, he is a little bit of a nuisance as well for Brame. This is different. There is no point here in the little Shredder, but of course with an Ursa and an Arrow Stun to enable Thug to really get these stacks up, it shouldn't be a problem. Scary against a Wyvern, though, is the point I was making, which is why I think we see Brame hit the brakes. Oh my God, Mary! Oh, he's gonna walk right past. He's gonna hear that jingle and go, "Are you kidding me?" The crappy thing, it's an Ursa as well, so he's gonna be full HP by the time he walks out of the pit. There's no chance for you even to like counter initiate here.
So I wanna 11. He got caught with the hook shot, so they can get a kill on 11 here. No. Or a strike, and he's out.
Yeah.
The Ursa play was actually much more clever than it seemed, because Thug had been farming the triangle for a while.
Good effort.
And Desire doesn't have more arrows. They missed the Burrow Strike. Okay, I'll TPs. Yeah, so if you notice Thug's positioning this whole game, he's been farming the triangle pretty consistently for like 2-3 minutes and pushing out bottom a little bit, but mostly triangle out of vision. So at one point, 11Monkeyz can't be just checking Roche every 10 seconds, right, to see if he's actually there. So that play was really well set up by Brave. They decided to play that way to make sure they couldn't notice it and sneak a Roche, quote unquote, as Dire, which is harder to do.
Have you noticed here what the Dusa just got delivered? A big component here for herself. She is, yeah. Oh, hold on, Wish. He's gonna be okay, but you can see the amount of raw damage that a Winter Wyvern can do every single time Arctic Burn and Witchblade are ready to go. And again, it's a 9-second cooldown on Witchblade, even longer than I had initially thought. Oh, hookshot. Hookshot for Thug.
Yeah, the relocate at least saves the Slaughter, I believe. But Marius is gonna be left to die.
And probably the
this
Wisp.
relocate probably kills the Wisp.
Yeah, 11's going to have another stun. There's a blink to have a toss. It's unlikely I think this Wisp lives. Even Grandmaster Nukamati will fall to the very highly skilled Avatos. Nothing you can do.
Yes, very difficult to pull that off.
Yeah, it's very hard.
Thug is looking for Winter Wyvern as well, but
one thing that is a little awkward for Brame that I'm actually just noticing now, despite having the 3K net worth, it's nothing too crazy, but certainly the driver's seat of this game is Brame have yet to get a single tower.
yeah, they don't have good push.
Oh, good toss back. That time they find the Deuce, so the Winter's Curse those onto the back lines. They almost get the Ursa to walk into it, but first they're going to get the kill onto the Sand Kings. A lot of team fight missing as Thug turns and fights here onto the Slaughter. That status resist is going to pay off here as he easily wins the 1v1. And Wish going in for a second time here. Does not have yet enough damage, though, to get through Stoikov, even with the Echo Saber online. Wisp going to heal him to full HP. The tower still stands here, so 11Monkeyz might think about still turning to fight. They did use Kisses here on Spartan. Not a lot of team fight in the bank here for Brame, with the Sand King dead especially.
Nice Wish covering the retreat, and once again tossing back to 2-7. Valentimos does not have the ultimate. Ursa, though, will be losing his Aegis here. Thug coming back with his second life. Is there a rage available? It is not. Battery Assault will cover him from blinking, but Thug does have a cookie.
Okay.
It's almost as good as a blink.
It's pretty good. 11Monkeyz don't want to continue fighting, though. The Sand King is back soon, so now advantage here back to Brame, even if they did nullify the Aegis. And, quick D-ward also makes that easy. Bottom tower falls to... Oh, is denied. I was going to say it's killed by creeps, but Stoikov TPs specifically to prevent that from happening, as he is building into the Acceptor. Permanent uptime now on the Arctic Burn. The biggest deal, of course, yes, is having the freedom of flight and all of that grants you and whatever. But also you can reapply the Arctic Burn buff on every single auto attack. That's the biggest deal about the Acceptor, really, to me.
Yeah, I agree. That's the threat we were talking about the whole time, right? I think this Winter Wyvern is a pretty free game, and there's going to be a lot of pressure on both Wish and 11 to catch him. And I don't know, you have a lot of save for like between the IO, the potential relocate, and a good well-placed cogs, the Wyvern could just get away with it. And Dusa might just be bait. Like that's why I like the Butterfly as well. It does deal damage, but the evasion makes it much harder for Ursa to just solo her, and it forces Thug to go for an MKB. So if Thug goes for MKB, you're essentially a Dusa killer, and that's your only goal in the fight, which makes it harder to play fights.
So how about...
And if you don't, then Dusa just gets away with the game.
Yeah, and she's doing pretty well. Actually, we didn't comment on the Butterfly as it's now completed.
It's done.
Yeah, it's done. This is like the solution you see Dusas do against a lot of like illusion heroes that tend to counter her, like the PL, notably, right? Which is usually a pretty dynamic shift in the 1v1, but it is an Ursa. He can build an Basher. Sorry, he can build a Basher, and in fact has it done. If you proc Bash, you also land the auto attack. It's the way with like Maelstrom, Basher, Abyssal, all those kinds of on-proc abilities. So he's going to need more, though, and they'll probably get the MKB as well. But we'll see here if this is the item that enables the Deuce to fight. I wanted to point out, I've been quite...
I see 11 top, by the way.
Oh, they do.
Yep. He was literally under a ward in the sentry, pretty unfortunate. Good cog pushback to make sure they avoid the arrow. 11 gets stunned as he power strikes himself to safety. They hit him with a bullwhip. Bink looking for the blink in. In a second, got Slithering Crush. Goodbye to 11, but now Bink regrets his choice. Goes for the Mirana next. The cogs trying to help him out, and the relocate gets him away safely. He's actually coming back in, though. Mortimer's Kiss has been used on Mary. They're hoping to kill the clockwork with this, and they do get him with a single tree.
Oh, that makes the fight awkward, though. They don't know where that tree came from. They don't want to take this. Wish with a haste rune as well. Now Wisp is going to leave his relocate partner. That was a really good job by Wish, the way that he entered that fight. He really rattled 11Monkeyz.
Yeah, I think they were looking for a tether out, right? But it's also kind of difficult to do that against Avalanche, particularly.
I wanted to ask, because I don't play a lot of Slaughter. You're a bit more of the offlaner than I am. 4-1-4 build here on the Slaughter. Maxing the Guardian Sprint over the Crush. Is this normal?
Yeah, this is definitely the build.
Okay.
Always. It's been the build since for like a long time. Slithering Crush is probably one of the worst scaling abilities in game.
Yeah.
Like, it's nice to damage. There are cases nowadays where people will go for like Shard early on Starter because it's actually a good farming tool. And if you max Crush plus Shard, you actually farm pretty fast. But then you're just being... It's like getting Midas on Starter, right? Except your Midas is delaying you 4 levels. Yeah. Essentially.
Yeah, he's gotten out of the Mask of Madness and actually has the Shard in the quick buy, but after the BKB and Blink Dagger, of course, which was his first item.
It's very good. This is this build where starter is looking to scale because Mask Commanders does help you farm a fair amount. Remember that Bash now deals double damage to creeps. That was an old change, but just re-mentioning for people. And this allows you to scale well against Brame. You're clearly playing the late game, and Brame is a fantastic team. We've been pointing out how well they play the early game, but one of their biggest weaknesses is closing out games. And in a lack of push lineup, that's certainly going to happen. The longer this game goes, the easier it becomes for 11Monkeyz. Even if Ursa gets good matchup against Dusa, you still have 2 other scaling cores to worry about, and your cores, Tiny and Senking, are okay at scaling.
Yeah.
But not Slardar or Winter Wyvern.
Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't exactly say that Wyvern falls off that hard either. She is kind of countered a bit by Ursa, by status resist. If you cold embrace a target compared to most other right-clicking cores, Ursa will still continue to right-click because he does get Fury Swipes, assuming the hit connects. So yeah, you know, there's still good things for Ursa in this matchup for sure against a Wyvern, but she becomes very annoying. She does lots of damage. You can still very easily go into an Orchid following this Ag Scepter if you wish, and that's going to allow you to tear through some heroes, man. It is deadly what this Wyvern can do.
Yeah, I like that idea. Especially because it would stop Tiny from initiating without blinking on you.
Exactly.
Sorry, with BKBing on you, which is a good, important option because Wish is not thinking about BKB. It's just not a good BKB game. So the Orchid forces the enemy team to go for either the spells, you know, like Ursa might have to consider, he's going to go for BKB himself. Tiny might have to consider it too. It does make the game much harder. I do like the Orchid pickup. Though, of course, Ags is always first here, especially because you can kite so easily. More plays for Brame. They're looking for heroes because objectives are hard for them. But they've at least opened up the map a little bit. It's just that 11Monkeyz' defensive warding has been pretty good, and none of it has been dewarded. And so their triangle and their mid lane is pretty well protected.
And I just want to quickly commend the move that 11Monkeyz just made. I think someone on the team, what likely happened there is they pinged Roche, because as you can see, we're in this Roche window where it could have respawned.
Yep.
So I think 11Monkeyz, probably someone went, oh, guys, it's Roche time. Let's group up and smoke and look to a, kind of fight around Roche. Let's see if they're doing it. I think that was a very deliberate move. This also doubles and benefits them, obviously, as they did evade that smoke gank that Brame was kind of looking for up top lane to enable their own Roche in case it was a fast spawn. So really clean stuff out from 11Monkeyz. That's very disciplined.
Yeah. I like it. I mean, they've been playing this early game as well as they can against a pretty aggressive team, right? Sometimes when you have a late game team versus an early game team, it seems like the late game team is making a lot of mistakes early, but it's just that they have no plays.
Exactly.
So they have to make more sacrificial plays very often.
They open up their game a bit more, as you can see. Stoikov, ooh, it's a whiff on the hook shot, but he's a little bit more liberal now with the usage of his Arctic Burn, and that's because he's got the Ag Scepter, so he's farmed this perfectly in time for second Roche, right, which is maybe where if you're 11Monkeyz, you start going, guys, we need to start fighting now. You know, it's time to do so. You need to at least farm around us, right? You start slow with the cores, right? It's not, you need to be in the smoke gank with us. It's please farm near us, and then, maybe you can join the fight towards the later things, later stages. They have spotted Dusa, though, on this ward in passing.
Yeah, but they decide not to go for her. They think maybe there's a smoke coming, and they're actually completely right about this. They're thinking about it, though. They're saving themselves for the high ground. They see Bink. There we go. Bink is time to retreat, but he's already caught the Sanking. However, Mortimer's Kisses forces 11Monkeyz to retreat. And the Sanking 11 dispels that Corrosive Haze arm.
They need to get rid of this ward here, 11Monkeyz. Yeah, that's crucial if they want to take this fight.
But they just lost their sentry here, and it's kind of difficult because there's no little shredder either. Winter Wyvern's speed, kind of a nuisance. Attack speed, I mean, honestly.
Now Moonlight Shadow is up, so Brame unable to really find a good opening in that fight. They're going to do the next best thing, which is push up these side waves. So that's going to be a solo kill here out of the Mirana. They utilize Winter's Curse. Unbeknownst to 11Monkeyz, Mirana's actually the only hero there in that top lane. But Brame are going to be fairly happy with that, even if it means they are a hero down as Roche respawns. Roche number 2, so obviously they want that for the Ursa. A bit aggressive out from Spartan as he kicks off the fight. Wish, though, does allow him to jump Stoikov, but he's not nearly as squishy here this late into the game. The Dust does not find the Tiny, however. Stoikov is just going to be healed up here a bit. So big advantage now for the Monkeys. Wish is still hunting for this, though. Oh, but yeah, Wyvern kind of off the map.
Can't get the toss.
I'm not sure, actually, if Wish saw her up there. It wouldn't have made too big of a difference, but now with the true sight here on Corrosive Haze, Wish is still going to be able to make it out.
I feel like with the toss, you might, and throw in the tree as well, you might have been able to kill her. It's kind of a tall order, though. Yeah. But she couldn't toss her into herself, which is obviously what you want to do there. So that's what stopped them from getting the Avatos combo. That really sucks for Wish.
Yeah, this is a big opening, right, for 11Monkeyz, because now they feel like they can do Roche. They obviously have corrosive haze, so, and Palantimos, who does a lot of damage here at this stage, attacks rather quickly. It's going to be a full fighting force, though, for Brame, and just in time here, the MKB delivered for Thug, so he can fight into this butterfly.
Okay, there's the epicenter used, but wasted it seems like as Nukamati at least gets bursted down by the Ursa, who has an MKB, by the way. Can start to rain down. The Tiny's dealing with both Clockwork and Slaughter as the Ursa is kind of...
11's at Aegis.
Wyvern Thug needs some help. The Aegis on the floor. 11 takes a good Sandstorm here to save him, but he's going to die regardless as the Enrage gets the Ursa out alive. Poor South Spartan running away from a Winter Wyvern, but you can't run away if Winter Wyvern's flying. South Spartan near the tower now. And Brame is starting to convert. They find a Clockwork behind them. They want to kill him quickly. The rest of 11Monkeyz now decide to counter-initiate, but it's a little bit too late. And let them go. No Winter's Curse committed in this fight. They lost 2 as well, and the Ages. Actually, 4. Not super sold on the play.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's just, you know, credit to Brame for kind of finagling their way around and getting some pretty good positioning in that fight to make it a little bit difficult for 11Monkeyz to, you know, properly set up their own team fight here. As Thug is onto the cover of Moonlight Shadow. He sees a Palantimos. He's going to find a bash on a Palantimos. Wish to follow up Nukamati, trying to at least sustain here, but he's used Relo in the fight. So he had no option for it, and unfortunately the Dusa is just dead like that, 100-0.
Wyvern could also be in trouble here. Stoikov, they're cutting his way home. Does he have TP? He does not. Yeah,
and he can just kind of do this, though. So, bit harder to catch this kind of hero when you can just free him.
Nice TP.
Yep, he's good. Very fast as well with bots, of course, which is a pretty big deal with your free movement.
And Ags as well. Ags increases the movement speed of Octoburn. But, I mean, they still got the Dusa, which is fine. There's what the MKB comes into play, right? Dusa's now always a target for the Ursa. She can be bursted down from 100 to 0. I feel like 11Monkeyz, though, they initiate that fight with full confidence, and then as Brame went to high ground, they didn't anymore. But it was weird because the 2 heroes that can punish high ground, which are Sanking and Tiny, were both fighting in your high ground, right?
Yeah.
Like, well, I mean, Sanking was on the river, and then Tiny was fighting your Clockwork and your Slaughter. So I don't really know what they were afraid of when they were reinitiating. And then once Brame reconvened, that was impossible, right? So it was a bit of I think there was a little bit of delay in the decision making by 11Monkeyz, because it's kind of the turning point. We're not sure if you're stronger than them. And that led them to a pretty crushing defeat in the Roche pit.
They did at least equalize the Aegis, right? 11 steals it, but he loses it right away. Thug does not get the Ag Shard. He had to buy it, which will delay somewhat significantly, right, his Satanic. Instead, it's going to be the Dusa who picks up the Cold-Blooded. Still not going to go for the Ag Scepter. It's not that good, right? It's not 2021. Yeah, we're in current year, so Medusa's not going to be rushing that ability. But, you know, a little bit of extra net worth, 1 extra Mystic Snake might make a little bit of a difference down the line. Yeah,
it's true. It's a little bit of mana, right? I mean, what are the targeted spells? They're going to be probably Sanking as a hero.
Yeah, that's about it, right? Toss?
Yeah. I don't think a conscious target.
Really?
Well, I don't know, actually. Because it usually, like, with Lotus, with Lotus it reflects, but it's once the unit hits you, so I'm assuming maybe that's what it's a snake.
Okay. I'm not sure.
Ooh, this is a theoretically good play, but they're under a ward
here. They don't have vision.
Yeah, Brame, they can totally take this. Wish is setting up for this. They get rid of the sentry. But now, the enemy team is in their own vision, and Brame, they're not going to fight into this. Nukamati dies on the sidelines. Mortimer's going to start getting dropped. That's Spartan providing vision. There's Wish going in, hoping for the Winter Wyvern kill. Not enough damage to the toss. BKB activated on starter. Wish needs some help. BKB for him as well, and he'll avoid those cogs. That Spartan dies in the backlines though. Epicenter gets triggered once again, hoping to kill a Dusa with his Aditi Ursa. Winter Wyvern got away. Palantimos though still stuck here, and Thug immediately jumps in and rages, attacks Palantimos. Hurricane Pike, Palantimos to the low-cap, but out of mana, Palantimos cannot survive this onslaught. Slaughter is but a little fish at the end of a big pond created by Brame.
Was there a pond there? He doesn't have the pond yet.
No, okay, it's a metaphorical pond, right?
Well,
why are you screwing me?
Not the literal pond, unfortunately, as been Basically, he's certainly swimming with the fishes at the end of that one. Not a good fight for 11Monkeyz. They try and salvage that by putting up a sentry and an observer on the cliff and finding at least one cliff to fight around. A noble idea, but rather difficult for them to execute at that stage as they were already routed. At that stage, they didn't have their Wisp, which is a crucial save. Wyvern was scouted at the start of the fight. Wish nearly gets the kill 100-0. And that's Monkeyz just unable to really turn the fight from there. Without the Wyvern, it becomes very difficult. Good Yules as well immediately onto BNC. Ensures that after his BKB is up, he's just controlled and kited throughout the entire fight. And once again, just Dusa focused down and killed. It's good fights by Brame, man. They're certainly out fighting 11Monkeyz. Again, in the push department, they still are struggling as they even are forced back before the Dusa respawns. But they set themselves up. They set themselves up nicely here. Pardon, for the late game. I'd say we're starting to transition to into around 30 minutes in, 35.
Yeah, but they have a strong lead. They have 2 cores that have managed transition. Usually, Tiny falls behind, but partially because the fights have been going so well. This is a good example of where, draft does matter, but execution matters more at the end of the day. And the team fights at Brame are simply superior. I wouldn't say it's because their draft is superior in team fights, certainly not now, but it's just they're taking them really well. They're making chaotic team fights, making Stonegaze look pretty weak. Wish is just an incredible force this game, which hasn't been stopped whatsoever. They're catching Winter Wyvern constantly, so this Sniper Wyvern has not really worked out for them. She even has Enchanted Quiver. It does matter. Like, 11Monkeyz seem to be got every single time. And even if Epis aren't that great, 11's Borrow Strikes are really good. And I like that he activates Epi and doesn't stress out about getting in with the damage, because he's just looking for a good stun. And that's what you want from your Sanking at this point in the game. Not so much the damage.
Arrow? Uh-oh. Well, with Palantimos here to defend the arrowed Slaughter. Maybe they don't make the jump in. Wish, though. Oh, he's going to say, hey, get back. Get out of here. He tosses him over to his teammate. Little hook shot there. Cookie is going to force, well, I was going to say will force Wish back, but he decides to go right back on in. He's looking for another toss here. Has to have a toss in another second or two. However, the initiation is going to be onto him this time around. BKB used now by Wish, but the curse here is going to go right through that. So they need Stoikov to do the damage, and the overcharged Wisp is going to assist him with that. 11 as well does manage to get out with the Burrow Strike, and there's finally a good counter initiation from 11Monkeyz off the back of the curse. Brame's still looking like they might take a fight around this ward, though.
That was finally a good fight, and that does, again, Brame can't afford to make any lost fights, mind you. So these fights, even if it's only a small kill on the Tiny, it matters a fair amount. We'll see now how strong Medusa can be in these next couple of engagements.
Yeah.
The Ursa itemizing against her, though, I would have liked to see a Scotty over Satanic, to be honest.
Oh, hook shot.
But I guess there's no
would
Scotty
have been big.
Medusa.
They needed that. I was about to say, Abo, they've got this ward behind the tier 1 tower. There goes Bing. A good jump. Regardless, they will take advantage of this as they continue to stagger the hero deaths. That should at least be a tier 1 tower. And that's this ward paying off for 11Monkeyz. They kind of started, or they placed this ward back when they kind of made this awkward kind of fight around this cliff. So I'm glad that they still find some use out of this, as they will finally at least take down a tier 1 tower. Makes Roche a bit more even-footed here for this next upcoming engagement.
Yeah, certainly that's true, actually. That's a very good point. I mean, great people still have the advantage because it's their triangle.
Yep.
I think even with the tower, they still have an advantage. We'll see, though. I think the next 2 fights have to go Brame's way and then finish it, obviously. But I would expect the Dusa to outscale them. I mean, the Ursa's been doing a great job. But I think the Scotty is a big turning point for Demos. I feel like Satanic was a very greedy choice, especially considering Dusa tends to go Scotty. Now it's not going to feel as effective. I would have much rather see Scotty and Thug to slow down the Dusa and catch up to work.
Well,
and now Thug, actually super greedy play, farming down bottom. They rotate the Dusa. Everyone has damage for Thug. Thug is dead in a matter of seconds, and he has no buyback. That is a huge blunder by Brame.
Yeah, they're going to be blessed by Gay Ben, at least. It's a very long Roche timer, but certainly going to be a stressful couple of, well, a minute and a half here, really, for Brame, as that's how long it'll take for the Bear to respawn. Again, Satanic not really helping him out there, unfortunately. Yeah, not a great BKB game. BKB probably doesn't even save him there, to be honest. Dies to just kind of physical damage. And, again, a scary period now for Brame, as 11Monkeyz continue to look to amp up the pressure. Let's Deuce.
I mean, this shouldn't be happening, right? To Brame, like, that kill wasn't necessary, so was Wishes, but they just got a little bit... I think they're feeling the pressure of playing against Dusa, and they're forcing too risky of plays with very little reward.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, the siege was a bit early there for sure. Good ward by 11Monkeyz. Was this placed down before the kill? It was. That Tinker ward down bottom, which scouted the Ursa completely alone. So again, good vision by 11Monkeyz, which enables them for these kind of small pickoff moves, which, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, they're not actually that small. But, you know, a solo kill there onto Ursa is pretty huge. Tier 2 tower taken. Now 11Monkeyz feel confident to head back into the jungle. They're going to set up a really strong foothold now. I talked about how, you know, removing the Dire tier 1 tower makes it a little bit more even for Roche when I would say Radiant lose their tier 1s and a tier 2 mid. Now they certainly have a major advantage. They've got the better high ground. Now they've got the outpost, and they've removed all of the outer towers here close to Roche for Brame. Really, really good recovery here by 11Monkeyz.
Oh, wow, Timo actually chooses the Flicker over Ninja Gear. Interesting. It's also concerning because the longer this game goes, even though Dusa is the main course, per se, I'm kind of scared for the Wyvern because now that she has BKB, I don't see how you burst her without Ursa running over to her.
You're scared
honestly.
for the Wyvern or you're scared of the Wyvern?
Of the Wyvern.
Okay.
Yeah, of the Wyvern. Because now she has 2.5k HP, which is respectable, enough to sustain the one combo by the Ursa. Activates BKB in the middle of Avalanche, which could be a threat as well. Deals a ridiculous amount of damage. So while Palantimos might be crushed by the Ursa, she can just endlessly kite him. Thug certainly has no way to deal with her unless they stun her pretty quickly. And I feel like Wish, despite his build being pretty solid, now going for Butterfly, so he's becoming a secondary carry. You shouldn't be good enough to kill Stoikov solo, especially if Monkeyz is there protecting him.
Yeah, and speaking of damage, right, Stoikov's just going for the highest DPS item you can get, which is this MKB paired with a Wisp overcharge in you. Like, sure, there might not be a lot of attack speed in this Wyvern build with the overcharge, which did get buffed in the late game, by the way. Level 4 got a little bit of an increase by 5. It's going to be very nice here for the Wyvern once that final item is online. Roche is up, though. He's got the Refresher Shard. That was the 50-50 for him, so no Ag's Blessing to complete this, you know, 6 slot for Palantimos, as he does get the Silver Edge online now for himself.
Huge win for Monkeyz, because Ag is good for them, but certainly Refresher is better. And for Brame, they don't really have the best Refresher users. I mean, sure, Refresher BKB or something like that, that's it. But that doesn't really count. No big ultimate to double.
Bad Omen. Thug gets first hit bashed by Roche out of the pit. Now it's scouted.
Yeah. But there's still vision for Brame. Brame saw the Rocket Flare coming out of Clockwork, even if he's...
Oh, but it's ping. There's a gem here on the Wyvern.
I don't know if it should be Desire who's leading.
Yeah, now he knows.
Desire retreats.
Yeah, the gig's up. And look how much damage this Wyvern does, right? That's Witchblade and Arctic Burn. 2 auto attacks. Half HP there on the Mirana.
Yeah, that's kind of ridiculous. Okay, I can't believe the Centaurs went all the way from the camp to block an arrow to Roche. And now Bing.
Oh.
There's the Winter's Curse.
Lotus
Damage
Slate.
against Thug is pretty high. He's just gonna die in the middle of the curse. It's ridiculous. Thug is down. Hookshot not catches the Mirana. 11 can't even counter initiate. He's been hit by the Slithering Crush. 11's dead. Desire Yulcitering himself to safety. Hopefully with a Blink Dagger he'll get away, but there's still a pursuit.
Wish?
Bing will get him with a Ghost of Haze, which allows Wyvern to snipe him as from behind. Wish was trying to create a play here. They don't see him any longer. He still has vision in the pit. Has Spartan came back in versus Steal the Aegis. Gets the Roche, but the Aegis gets taken by Bink here. Spartan dies regardless. Wish activates BKB. Bink, though, still chasing after him. He's slowed by the Scotty, killed by the Wyvern, and stunned by Bink here.
Oh, man.
As Bink also got the Refresher and the Cheese, by the way. So even if the gold goes the way of Brame, it doesn't matter. Turning point is here.
Yeah, that was disastrous. Just a disastrous fight for Brame. Like, everything that went wrong did go wrong. And you could see, like, they had the right idea of what they needed to do to win that fight, but the execution was just a second late here. You'll see really, I mean, obviously it's the Winter's Curse that cracks this fight and this game really wide open. And they have Avo. They've got a Lotus, and you could see it was applied to the Ursa just a second late. They were just kind of banking on maybe they wouldn't make the jump in so quickly. The Stone form also turns 11 into Stone, so he's unable to really go in for the counter initiation. And Wish just has no entry because everyone in the Roche pit is BKB. Like you said, the BKB for Stoikov really making a big difference there. Brame are just completely routed. They bow back now on 11, but the mid barracks are already deleted. Palantimos here without Aegis, sure, is still just about 6 slotted here. And this is at least, well, definitely 2 lanes of barracks, and probably at most, considering there's also a tier 1 in the bottom lane. But an easy 2 lane of racks here for the Monkeyz.
Yeah, I think that thing is probably over, honestly, for Brame. It's really difficult to recover right now. I think that Lotus Sword play is exactly what you're pointing, like what they were going for. They realized that team fight is just lackluster in the late game compared to 11Monkeyz, and they're just gonna go for a surprise Lotus Sword reflect, which might set them up for the kill against Wyvern. But it's once again, like Dusa, they know they can deal with. It really is this Wyvern that's the big issue.
Yep.
They just don't know how to catch up to Stoikov. The second smoke onto a Moonlight Shadow or a smoke, I can't really tell. They find Dusa. Okay target, but you just can't burst it down fast enough to be worth your while. You're looking for something better. Bink would be ideal here. 11 does more or less scout him here. Smoke used by 11Monkeyz. They're going to attack him now. Stoikov is leading, not the ideal choice.
Now 11
Brame
Monkeys,
retreats.
yeah, they scout him. They're going to at least erect a ward and get ready to fight around here. Real quick, this Palantimos, though, he's pretty scary now. The casual crit on Silver Edge. He's hit level 25, of course, in the last engagement. He's got that, oh my goodness, all the modifiers that he needs. Thug disarmed here, doesn't have any status resist. Is BNC fighting into him. 11 is going to pull the Dusa up to the high ground. 11's kind of clipped here, but Stoikov is in trouble. Does not get the BKB off thanks to a long duration arrow. He's going to buy back though as they once again kill Thug, who does not have BKB still. Buyback as well from Nukamati. He's back in the fight instantly with a lot of regeneration. As the Aegis is reclaimed here. There's a Winter's Curse, but 11 here is not going to die to that alone. What's going on in this fight? Everyone's all over the map.
Yeah, Brame actually almost won that fight off the back of an arrow on Stoikov. He bought back because he knew this, they can't do this again, but that was huge for them, honestly. And obviously arrow plus Sanking Sandstorm, right? Just the ultimate combo here. They still lose Ursa though, and Snapfire, they're not buybacks on either of them. They were just refreshed to get a second Stone Gaze. Wish is in trouble. They have a shard now on Slaughter as well, so they see Wish, can't go invisible. Auto Storm to help him out. Now the version of 11. They're trying to kill the IO, but they called Embrace IO. Wyvern still has some healing as they go and kill off the poor Sanking 11, trying to get away. Doesn't have Blink Dagger available though. Stormcrafter's still here, and he's gonna avoid some damage as Wish covers for his retreat. They got the Mystic Snake. It's not gonna be enough. They need 2 more hits, and they got him. Now, who's being slowed is Wish. The Winter Wyvern is unkillable, and Wish will be finished off here by Palantimos. There is no Ursa, so nobody can deal with the Dusa. Now it's no longer Stoikov they have to deal with, but rather Palantimos as Desire to get the King of Arrows here.
Try to do anything. He gives a little bit more mana back to Palantimos. The Yule Scepter trying to buy as much time. They got Spartan back in 4 seconds with the Thrones exposed. Stoikov is just doing all the damage they need here, along with Palantimos. There goes Spartan. A nice little stun here. Ursa's back in 8 seconds, but there is no fortify. Thrones on less than 500 HP now. Spartan is dead. That's how he wanted to go, though. And 11Monkeyz are going to take game number 1.